An environment of emotional safety is an environment in which you feel cared for and accepted and safe enough to be yourself. In this video, I'm going to share 7 ways in which you can begin to build emotional safety into your home or improve the emotional safety in the culture that you already have in your family. My first suggestion is to define your values. Values are overarching guiding principles which you aspire to. They help to guide you about how to lead your life. And if you haven't already defined your values as an individual, then it would be helpful to do that before doing it as a parental unit or as a family. Knowing your values as a family is incredibly useful because it allows you to make better decisions. It guides you in what to do and how to do it. Because knowing your values gives you a kind of umbrella under which your family can function better. Tip number 2 is quality time. Spend quality time together as a family. A lot of the time we have quantity of time. We spend hours and hours together with our family, but all of us are on different devices. Or maybe you take your kids to different activities and then you rush off to the shop while they do their activity, or maybe you're on the sidelines watching. That is not the same as quality time. Quality time is when you all get together and you put down your phones and you put down your devices and you spend time present and engaged with one another. You can, of course, watch a movie together, and that can be quality time, but as long as the activity that you are doing is something that you're all doing together. Tip number 3 is practice gratitude. Gratitude has been well researched to make a big difference to your overall well-being and your daily happiness. So gratitude is a wonderful thing to practice together as a family. It builds a positive culture in which all of you can feel emotionally safe. If you're a religious family, then you can build gratitude into your prayers. Or you can just talk about things that you are grateful for when you have dinner together, for instance. Having a gratitude practice builds thankfulness into everybody's way of thinking. And when you are grateful, you are more likely to feel comfortable and accepted in your home. Tip number 4 is practice acts of kindness. Now, kindness is another well-researched practice that comes from positive psychology that improves people's mental health and overall well-being on a daily basis. Your acts of kindness don't have to be big. They can be tiny. They can be as simple as a warm smile and a connection and a greeting to the cashier at your supermarket, for example, or to the person that you pass as you take your children to school. But acts of kindness make a huge difference to your own overall satisfaction with your life. They make you feel part of a community. And if you practice acts of kindness as a family, then you're building kindness into your family values and you're building the kindness practice into your family well-being. When kindness is part of your family culture, everybody can feel emotionally safe. My name is Karen. I'm a clinical psychologist, and my mission is to bring mental health and understanding about psychology and psychotherapy into everyone's home. If you find this video helpful and if you enjoy it, then please click the like and subscribe buttons and turn on that notification bell. Tip number 5 is define your boundaries. Set your boundaries. Boundaries are not actually complicated. Boundaries are what is yours and what is somebody else's stuff. Boundaries are also defining the line between what is okay and what is not okay. And these boundaries are so much easier to define when you've already defined your values. So for example, if kindness is one of your values, then when one child is unkind to the other child, it is very clear that there needs to be a boundary set there. Boundaries help set expectations so that everybody knows what to expect and how the family is expected to engage with one another and with the outside world. A good way of building boundaries is by building them into your routine. So you do certain things on certain days, you do certain things in certain order, you follow certain guidelines about how you do things as a family. And when these become part of the routine, part of the schedule, then they're a lot easier to follow. When you have clear values and a culture of gratitude and kindness in your home, and when you spend quality time together as a family, it is easier to set consistent boundaries and to almost naturally follow the rules. It is important to set the consequences as well, and those consequences need to be fair and equal to everyone in the home. So for example, if one child is unkind to another child, then the consequence for that unkindness should be the same. It shouldn't be different rules for different people and different rules for different children. Tip number 6 is be a role model of authenticity. Demonstrate authenticity in your home. Practice your own self-care. Acknowledge your own feelings. Take risks. Express yourself and share your vulnerability. Allow yourself, your partner, and your children to acknowledge and express their feelings without judgment, and express their needs using I language. So for example, instead of saying you did this, you never did that, you always do this thing, the person would demonstrate how you would say things like, I feel really frustrated when you don't put your dishes in the dishwasher after dinner, or I feel really sad when you snatch that out of my hands. Using I language helps everyone to feel safe. I want, I need, I hear, I accept, I think. These are all things that do not put the other person on the defensive. Be accepting of yourself and be accepting of others in your home. This will help everybody to feel emotionally safe and build a culture, a positive culture of emotional safety in your home. Show how you learn from your mistakes as a parent. Acknowledge your mistakes. Talk about them. Process them. Explain what you learned from them. And other people in your family will begin to do the same, and you can guide your children into doing the same. But it is important as a parent to demonstrate, to model the behavior that you want to see in your children. Practice self-care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your own needs. Have clear boundaries for yourself and for what you're prepared to accept from others. And in this way, you will live a much more authentic and satisfying life yourself, and you will build emotional safety in your home. It is not helpful for you and your partner to disrespect one another, to argue, to fight in front of the children. If you can demonstrate how to manage conflict, how to resolve issues as they come up, then that is another wonderful way to model emotional maturity and to build emotional safety in your home. Tip number 7 is give it time. It's a practice. This is not something that you make the decision to do and then it always just unfolds from there. No, everything is an ongoing practice. It's something that you make a decision to do and then you practice it and then you make the decision again. Every day you have to set your intention. Every day you have to make these kinds of decisions. Give yourself time and give yourself grace as you begin to implement the practices that will build a culture of lovely emotional safety in your home. And keep in mind, emotional safety is not going to be all of the time. These things are a bit like meditation. These practices are something that you begin to do and you implement as best you can. And you notice when the practice veers off to one side or veers off to the other. You realize that it's happening and you bring it back. This is completely normal. It's completely okay. Sometimes it's the mistakes that you make. It's the mistakes that you make as a family. It's the mistakes that you make in creating an unsafe emotional environment that help you, that actually bring you closer as a family, that help you to understand what happened, what went wrong, and how to fix it. It is in the rebuilding and the repairing that stronger human connections and deeper human warmth and understanding are created. You don't have to do everything that I have suggested. Take what resonates for you. Take what feels good for you and what feels relatively easy to implement. If something seems incredibly tough and daunting, then it's probably not going to be a massive success if you try to do all of it at once. Take it one step at a time. Make the small changes over time that will lead to big changes in the long term. If this video was helpful, if you found it useful in any way, then please click the like and subscribe buttons, and please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any question, then drop me a comment and I'll make a video to answer your question.